Hi, Colin. Welcome to the new, exciting, rebranded Shackcast.
I can't wait, Dave. It's going to be great.
Excellent, good stuff. Well, I think you're the only one that had two appearances in the original Shackcast before I joined Triple Value Impact. So this is third time lucky.
You're trying to drive people away, Dave? And,
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I just keep coming back to those I trust, Colin. So take that as a
Thank
credit.
you, sir. I really appreciate that.
Anyway, welcome everyone to the Shackcast. It's under the umbrella now of my new role. Although I still do different things like write for article magazines and appear at events and so on, as you know. But my main job these days is I partner with the housing part of the Triple Value Impact business. And Colin, you more than aware, and a number of my followers on LinkedIn will know that what I've been doing over the last year is building a thing called the Social Housing Digital Blueprint, of which I'm glad to announce, but we have previously mentioned it, that 3C are one of the digital partners in the Housing Digital Blueprint. So thank you, Colin, for having faith in us. Colin, just to give a bit of context, what I'll do is quickly describe the blueprint, and then I would love you to kind of give your feelings on why you feel it's important to join us as a partner in the blueprint. So the blueprint is simply a way that landlords can quickly identify through our research the digital solutions we have got that brings efficiencies. So it's specific things to fix specific problems in the sector. It's all done at pace. So it's 35 at the moment digital solutions through 27 digital partners, of which 3C, as I said, I'm delighted to be one of them. And we'll follow this up, folks, with other Shackcasts, with other partners, and they can give us their view. What I'm also going to do, Colin, is I've kind of surprised you, but I think it would have been fair to give you a bit more notice. I'm going to ask you for your three wishes relating to the social housing sector. So, but first of all, Colin, the digital blueprint, the concept is quite different. It's quite innovative. It's quite different. The sector's never seen anything like it before. So instead of going out there and buying yet another housing management system, this is a way for landlords to efficiently and effectively at pace identify with pre-calculated business cases on your solution and other people's solutions. So, Colin, why did you join? I mean, it's obviously not just because of the excitement of working with somebody like me.
Well, I mean, that was kind of top of the list, of course, Dave. But to be frank with you, I just love the concept of it. My understanding of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a very experienced group of people who've already identified what the major pain points are and almost ranked them for organizations. So can immediately look at the solutions for those most painful or challenges that have the greatest return on investment or return of social value, whatever it may be, in the minimum possible time. And that makes perfect sense to me. Perfect sense. We're all as individual suppliers all trying to promote our own solutions, and that's great. But if you really do have an organization who's got, and this is how it should be, the customer the customer at heart, and they are actually grading those different problems and along with the outcomes to them that are required. My understanding of the blueprint is that's what it does. It's kind of what it says on the tin, and so I find that whole concept very appealing.
I am about to do a presentation. I'm attending the Social Housing Strategy Forum this week, Colin, where I'll be presenting to a number of landlords and professionals in the sector. And my presentation is labelled something similar I did at Housing Innovation Show in February, and it's called "Is That It?" And the reason I'm calling "Is That It?" now, it's my kind of marketing phrase, my strapline, "Is that it?" Because I'm fed up, and I know, because I get the calls, and so do you, Colin, I know you do, and other consultancies get the calls from landlords saying, "I'm fed up with my housing management system. Is that it? Is that all I get for the money I spend?" Now, and I know landlords and housing associations and councils have spent years implementing housing management systems, spending millions of pounds, annually spending hundreds of thousands of pounds on support and maintenance and there are some good ones, but typically I am seeing a trend, and the trend is that they're landlords are becoming more and more dissatisfied with their house management system. I'm not saying you get rid of HMS. There's still a role for it. What I'm saying is there's plenty, and I'm including your product Data Logic in this, as well as other solutions that we've partnered up with. I call best of breed, because I believe that's now we're in a position where landlords can implement a whole raft of solutions working together, centrally linked perhaps, or architected in a solution in a way that can benefit the landlord, and you can start to see true efficiencies. So Colin, one of the things I wanted to ask you before I get into the discussion of 3C and Data Logic and the three wishes is, what is it that the sector truly needs to see from the blueprint? What is it, do we think? I mean, I think working together with you guys and the rest of the partners, of which we'll see in the weeks to come, is refreshing. But what's the main drive at the moment from landlords?
We probably both know this, Dave, and it's been discussed many times before, but we're in a very risk-averse sector, and they're really very wary, and I can understand why. They've been burnt many times, and there are lots of horror stories out there about huge amounts of money that have been spent on IT for very little outcome. So come back to it. The blueprint is supposed to be about outcomes, and if you look at someone like 3C, we've stumbled into the whole data really thing because, for us, we were providing lots of people with what I'd call technology consultancy, which was helping them with their which software should they use, and we're not happy with our software, so we'd like to move to something else. And we just found that it was just jumping from the frying pan to the fire the whole time. It wasn't solving the problems. With something like the blueprint, you're focusing people's attention on the actual problems and the outcomes that they're looking for. And for someone like ourselves as well, who've selected a solution, Data Logic, on the basis that we believe it's, we selected it because we wanted to use it ourselves, and yet customers are using it too. But and we want to know, we don't want to just accept that it's the best on the market. We want to know what else is there. So if the framework finds other things, number one, it gives us an opportunity to know where we sit in the marketplace, and if we do have best of class solution, but also it lets us and we've already seen this, that other people in the framework who have solutions that are in some way sort of looking for compatible and complementary, well, hey, let's all work together. If it is for the greater good of the customer, which is what it should be all about, then it helps us as suppliers to get it right.
Couldn't agree more. And only this morning I had a discussion with a landlord that's a customer of TVI's, where we were talking about the solutions that the blueprint offers, and in that discussion, data comes up. It always comes up, data, right? At some point, if it doesn't come up directly, it comes up indirectly, and people say, I'm not getting the right insights to be able to give my customers, the tenant, the information they need succinctly. We can't make a decision because we don't have the right intelligence behind our data. So it's rubbish in, rubbish out, and we get into that whole thing. And the thing I think is really important that we need to address, and I think what you do and what you've delivered for customers today is been able to sort out this nightmarish problem of unstructured data. I think it's one of the sector's biggest failings is we have data flying about everywhere in spreadsheets, in little silos and SharePoint and whatever. And it comes as no surprise now. It always comes up in every conversation. The only other thing that doesn't surprise me anymore is people saying I'm fed up with my housing management system. So no doubt I'll get the usual pelters after this, Colin. Dave's on the march again with his anti-housing management system. I'm not anti-housing management system. What I am is I am pro best of breed solutions supplementing a strong housing management system / data warehouse / repository, whatever it is. So Colin, three wishes, right? I'm going to ask every guest on the Shackcast now 3 wishes that they would wish for the social housing sector. So what would your first one be today?
Well, I think you've just mentioned it really, and that's come back to the HMS. The changing your HMS is not the answer. Understanding what
Right.
the answer needs to be and then working your way back as to how to get there, that'll tell you what needs to be. So the first wish would be for social housing providers not to think that the obvious answer is changing their housing management system. That's number one.
Okay.
Uh,
Number two.
Number two would be respect for the information. I think it is the penny is dropping very much more now, and I think the regulator has been responsible for that. You made a point earlier again about the data being recognised. Well, I think I'm right in saying that over 80% of all downgrades or failure regulatory failures are associated, actually make it quite clear it's associated with poor information management. And I think if you read the risk profile as well, that comes out every, I think it's November, from the regulator, data appears to be top of the list now. And I that's not just data integrity, there's data cybersecurity as well. So I just wish the penny would properly drop, and that when it comes to housing associations putting strategic attention as to within their documents and strategy, data is literally in paragraph number one.
Just on that one, Colin, just on that, just a quick question for you, because I'm aware of some of the councils and landlords that have been downgraded recently in the last year. I know of 3 that were downgraded to a C4 at the councils, and it mentioned data specifically. If you read in between the lines, and you read, or not even between the lines, if you just read the regulator's report, it will mention the fact that in some cases the data's there. It's just that it's not in a way that can easily be accessible. So there's no point. And landlords and councils have argued back to the regulator saying we have the data, but it's no point having the data if Joe Bloggs down the corridor can't find it easily and make an empowered decision on that data. So it's not just about having the data somewhere. It's about, as I think you just quite rightly said, it's about how you manage and govern that data and how you clearly map out what you want to do with that data and what decisions you can make.
I'd say you're spot on, Dave. There are 3 things the regulator is going to want to know. One, is there a single golden thread that runs through that data throughout the organization? It's not dispersed all over the place.
That's it.
And you make the point about unstructured data. Normally about 60% plus of the data is unstructured. Right. So it all has to be there. Number 2, is there a single voice of the truth? Is there different information saying different things, or can you show that there is a single voice of the truth in the data you're reporting? And in order to do that, can you audit it? Can you verify it? Just like financial information, if a regulator wanted to do an audit, can you go, can you prove that's right? At least you stand a good chance of doing it. So that's what you need at the heart of your data strategy.
Okay.
Anyway,
so on you go, Colin. I'm sorry.
Wish number 3. Sorry. Last one is coming back to the regulator. I just wish the regulator would be a little bit more helpful. I think there's a lot of social housing providers out there looking for guidance. I think the housing technology survey showed about 80% of them gave us their top reason or top request. Can we have more guidance as to what you're looking for? And so I think that the regulator just needs to up the ante around that as well.
Actually, couldn't agree more, Colin. Brilliant. One of the final things I wanted to kind of cover today was what you hope that, okay, you're giving your wishes, but what are we going to see from the sector in the coming year? What do you think the direction of travel is, apart from everyone adopting the digital blueprint?
I can't help it. I think regulation and fear of regulatory audits is very much at the top of everyone's minds. I think, dare I say it, the security of organizations and those that run those organizations is very much kind of based upon how they get a hold of their information and they manage it, secure it, ensure that it's accessible but safe. Yeah, that's probably my number one.
Brilliant. Colin, I'm trying to keep these short and sharp rather than a half hour or an hour's ramble, as ever. I could talk to you for a lot longer, but I'm thinking of the audience who I've got. They need to get on and sort their data out, don't they?
Bored stiff by now.
Rather than listen to us. Well, hopefully, so welcome back to the Shackcast, and thank you very much, Colin. Take care.
Thank you, Dave. All the best.